Welcome! Another day of Bhagavad Gita Sadhana with me, your hostess, Atmadarshan or Laura, whichever term you prefer to use. I almost forgot what I was going to say there. And that fits right in with the topic we've been discussing over the last few days, which has to do with memory and forgetfulness and how you can apply the teachings of Bhagavad Gita to your life. One thing that I've mentioned before, and I think is worth mentioning again, is that Krishna, who represents your true self, tells Arjun, who represents your limited egoic self, Krishna tells Arjun that he is that Krishna, the true self, is the source of both memory and forgetfulness. In stories in the Mahabharats, some of which I've told already, do you remember them? Krishna does cause people to purposefully forget something, and others he helps them remember things. How interesting. So, in what's probably going to be our last take on this subject, I'd like you to reflect on how you feel about when somebody forgets something, including you. We're going to make that part of the contemplation. And one of the reasons I invite you to do this is because of something I've personally noticed doing this wonderful series with all of you, and that is I forget things sometimes, and some of them you won't notice. Like one day I forgot to plug my internet in, and thank goodness that was the day the wireless was strong enough to be out here and do the whole session. Sometimes I've gone inside and forgotten to shut the, oh my gosh, sorry, and forgotten to shut the glass door so the cat could have escaped. A little tiny, fluffy little young sparrow just landed by me. That's why I went, oh, that's so cute. Anyhow, and sometimes I forget and it affects you in some way. And I've been really surprised sometimes by what kind of feedback I get when I forget something. Like if I forget to move a video to a certain location, a playlist, I hear from people, I couldn't find it. If I forget to include the verses in the comments, I hear about it. And I find that fascinating because it plays off a fear that I had early on, and I still have now. What if I forget that this sadhana is happening at 8:15 in the morning? I still have it in my calendar with a reminder every day because I have that concern. What if I forget? And what I've come to think about is, what if I forget? You know, why should that trouble me so much? I just forget, and that because everybody makes mistakes and everybody forgets things. And then I realize I don't necessarily, it's about me. Like I'll start to think, why am I forgetting such a thing, right? My concern, which actually I think the concern I would have for my own mental state kind of feeds off what I perceive your perceptions to be. Because, the one day I consciously had to miss the sadhana because of an appointment, and I didn't put a video up, and I warned people ahead of time, and I told people, I got some blowback from that. Well, why this and why that? And why didn't you produce a bonus video for us? And I find that fascinating since we're working on equanimity, staying calm, being the same. The idea of me forgetting, getting the feedback that me forgetting something would cause other people such distress is just like, wait. But then I realize, I think we all do this. We all take this upon ourselves. If I forget something, it's what does that have to do with you necessarily? It's just me forgetting. And actually how we treat others who forget says a lot about how we treat ourselves when we forget, right? If we're beating up others for forgetting, probably what we're doing on a sub and unconscious, or maybe even a conscious level, is when we forget something, we go, oh my gosh, I'm losing it. Maybe even I'm getting old, I'm getting incompetent. I was watching Family Feud last night, and the highly scientific surveys of Family Feud, we asked 100 people this question. And one of the questions was, how afraid are you of getting old on a scale of 1 to 10? And you know what the number one answer was? A 10. People are terrified of getting old. And memory loss is often associated with that. I've been forgetting things my whole life. It's just, I noticed now that I'm older, if I forget something, people want to pin it on me getting older. It's like, I've been forgetting things my whole life. For example, I've been forgetting for days to invite you to that free yoga and Aikido event that I've had in the comments for days. So, this is a wonderful opportunity because, as the wise people, the wise Muppets of Sesame Street say, everyone makes mistakes, everyone forgets. How do we treat those people that forget? From daily forgetting to those with dementia, Alzheimer's, or other forms of memory loss. Because this is a pretty universal human experience. And according to Krishna, it's actually a sacred and divine experience. Oh, maybe tomorrow we'll go on with why would you want to forget? Maybe there'll be the rest of this series is forgetfulness. We'll see. Let's practice. If you've been with us a while, can you remember what the practice is? And what I always say, take care of yourself. If you can't do the standing, do it sitting, lying down, or make something up that you can do. And I always forget to adjust the camera. How do I treat myself? Let's switch sides. All righty. I forgot to charge my phone and it's yelling at me. Let's contemplate for 5 minutes. I think it's easier to see how we treat other people. Contemplate how you feel when somebody forgets something. It could be something small or even something you think is important, like your anniversary, your birthday, a holiday. And then maybe you'll gain some insight into how you treat yourself when you forget. 5 minutes. Welcome back. I remembered to hit the right timer button today. Today's practice is dedicated to all who forget, which is literally all of us. Can we extend compassion? Well, we're going to talk more about this topic tomorrow. So I'll see you then, unless you forget, in which case, I forgive you, I love you, and whenever you remember, please come on back. Until then.